Welcome back to the Malaysia Money Matters Show. It's the 15th of August, 25. Today, we're doing our deep dive into the latest financial, economic, and political news. Lots happening.
Absolutely. Both here in Malaysia and on the global stage. Where should we start?
Let's kick off with Malaysian company news. First up, the EPF. Their second quarter investment income. It jumped 22% to RM 20.61 billion.
Wow, that's a strong number, mostly driven by equities, it seems.
Exactly. And total assets hit RM 1.31 trillion.
Yeah, that really highlights the fund's robust performance, doesn't it? Good news for member savings. It points to, well, solid domestic market conditions, too.
Definitely. Now, shifting gears a bit, Norway's sovereign wealth fund. They've been adjusting their Malaysian portfolio.
Oh, interesting. What's the move?
Well, they trimmed their equity holdings, exiting about 32 companies, including Malaysia Airports and Westports.
Okay.
But, and this is key, they significantly increased their holdings in Malaysian government bonds, up to US $610 million.
Right. So it's not a wholesale exit. It sounds more like a strategic shift, Less exposure perhaps to certain equities, but more confidence in government debt.
So a vote of confidence in Malaysia's stability, just maybe in a different asset class.
Precisely. Bonds signal faith in the macroeconomic picture, the long-term stability. It's quite nuanced.
Okay, let's talk energy. Petronas. The PM confirmed they'll only import LNG if it makes commercial sense, even from the U.S.
That sounds very pragmatic. It's about the bottom line, not just geopolitics.
And they're keeping up strong exports to places like Japan and China.
Yeah, exactly. Serve the key markets, but be shrewd about imports. It's a balancing act in a volatile global energy scene.
Makes sense. Now, tech investments are buzzing. AMD opened a huge new office and lab in Penang.
Yes, 209,000 square feet. That's a significant boost for our semiconductor and AI capabilities.
And Simdarby Property is looking for a loan, potentially up to RM 3 billion.
What for?
To build a data center. And get this, it's going to be leased to Google.
Wow, okay, so AMD and Google. That really cements Malaysia's role in, the AI infrastructure boom. This says a lot about our talent and infrastructure.
It certainly does. Now, not all news is rosy. Swift Haulage reported a profit drop.
Oh, despite revenue going up.
Yeah, a 19% drop in Q2 net profit. They cited higher operating costs and taxes.
That highlights the pressure in the logistics sector, doesn't it? Costs can really bite into profits, even with more business.
True. But on the flip side, Johor Plantations Group saw profits soar.
How much?
Over 50% higher in the second quarter, reaching RM 75.2 million.
Driven by palm oil prices, I assume?
Exactly. Higher crude palm oil and palm kernel prices were the key factors.
So a real contrast there. Logistics facing cost pressures while plantations ride the commodity wave. Shows the diversity of the economy.
Okay, let's shift to the political and economic front here in Malaysia. The Prime Minister voiced serious concern about rising extreme behaviors.
Ah, yes. Mentioning that distressing syringe attack incident involving Rafizi Ramli's son.
Right. He vowed swift action.
Understandable. Maintaining public safety and social order is paramount. A government needs to show it's taking these things seriously to reassure the public.
On the economic policy side, the sales and service tax, the SST, what's happening there?
Well, the Finance Ministry announced it's staying. They plan to maintain and improve it.
Improve it. Any targets?
Yes, they project it could bring in an extra RM 10 billion annually from 2026.
So sticking with the familiar system rather than, say, bringing back GST.
Seems like it. It's probably seen as less disruptive, leveraging a system businesses already know while aiming for more revenue. A cautious approach to fiscal enhancement, perhaps.
Interesting. And a big potential change in the legal sphere. The separation of the Attorney General and public prosecutor roles.
That's right. The proposal is expected to go to cabinet soon, maybe by the end of this month.
That's been talked about for a long time, hasn't it, for judicial independence?
It has. It's seen as crucial by many to avoid potential conflicts of interest and really bolster public trust in the justice system, separating the government's lawyer from the chief prosecutor.
We'll watch that space. And one more legal item. A federal court ruling on tax exemptions for manufacturers.
Yes. The court ruled that these exemptions need to be interpreted narrowly, meaning the burden of proof is firmly on the companies. They have to be very precise in proving they qualify. It tightens things up, potentially increasing the tax take if companies aren't careful.
Okay, let's look overseas now. International news. U.S. politics always impacts things. President Trump believes Putin's ready for a deal on Ukraine.
That's the signal he's sending. Of course, how realistic that is remains to be seen. but the statement itself can move markets and geopolitical calculations.
And he's also hinting at an early announcement for the next Fed chair.
Yeah. Another major point of uncertainty, markets hang on every clue about the Fed. An early pick could either calm nerves or stir them up, depending on who it is and their perceived stance on interest rates. Big implications globally.
Speaking of markets, gold has been climbing.
On hopes of a U.S. Fed rate cut. Lower rates often boost gold.
And Bitcoin hit a record high.
Yes, that suggests increased risk appetite among investors, also likely tied to those expectations of easier money, lower interest rates potentially coming.
All right. Now over to China. The property market struggles continue. Evergrande liquidators are going after the founders' assets.
They are. It shows they're serious about clawing back funds for creditors. It's quite a step.
And the government might get state-owned enterprises to buy unsold homes.
That's being considered. It would be a major intervention to try and soak up the excess inventory and stabilize the market. Shows how concerned Beijing is about contagion.
It does sound drastic. Let's switch to cars. Geely seems to be gaining fast on BYD in the EV race.
Yeah, a huge 47% sales jump in the first half. The competition in the electric vehicle space is just intense, especially in China.
And VinFast is planning a big internal deal.
Yes, spinning off its R&D assets in a deal with its founder. It looks like a strategic move, possibly to unlock value or streamline operations as they navigate that competitive landscape. Companies are constantly adapting.
Finally, a shift in investment flows. Chinese investors looking more towards Indonesia.
That's a significant trend. The main drivers seem to be avoiding U.S. tariffs and tapping into Indonesia's large domestic market.
So, a direct result of trade tensions and a strategy to diversify.
Exactly. It's friendshoring or nearshoring in action. Companies adjusting supply chains, looking for resilience and new markets. It reshapes global trade patterns.
Well, that covers a lot of ground. A really dynamic mix of news this week. That wraps up our deep dive for today. As you heard, from local fund performance to global trade shifts, it's all interconnected. Definitely food for thought on how these events might shape your own outlook. Remember to subscribe to the Malaysia Money Matters podcast. Hey there, thanks for tuning in. If you would like a deeper dive into all the investment opportunities from today's news, subscribe to my newsletter at moneymatters.substack.com. I will be sharing a deeper analysis of the key investment opportunities from today's news, including what makes these opportunities stand out and how they fit into the broader market trends. By subscribing to the Malaysia Money Matters newsletter, you will also get exclusive insights on my watch list and portfolio and fundamental reports on Malaysian listed companies.